Okay guys, there's going to be a new video today. Today we're going to be talking about some Australian species that I started working with. First one we're going to talk about is Diplodactylus steindachneri. These guys are really cool. This is the basic setup that I have for them. They've got, this would be considered their hot side whenever it's in the rack. We've got a lay box, a cold side hide, and a hot side hide. Basically the lay box just has some cocoa fiber in it mixed with sand to help keep it a little bit moist, and then they can dig around in there. I've also started feeding them mealworms during the breeding season, just available to them at all times. I also feed them crickets as well. But the mealworms is a good way to get the calcium and the vitamin powder into these guys. I'll actually show you a couple of these guys. This guy right here is actually the male. He's a lot lighter than the females. The females are actually, there's one of them right there. She's actually pretty fat right now. She's about ready to lay some eggs. Hopefully we'll get those laid in the next couple days so we can get them in the incubator. The male just went running underneath the container there. But that's Diplodactylus steindachneri. They're an Australian small gecko species that is actually full grown for these guys. The next one that we're going to do, let's see if I can remember which ones I put in here. Oh, these are Diplodactylus galeatus. These guys are pretty common in the US right now that you can get, but these guys are very cool looking, pretty fast too. That one is actually the male. And the female is right there. She's actually like a lighter phased one, which I don't know if that can be proven out or not, but we're going to try to see if we can line breed that a little bit. As you can see, she's much lighter than the male is. She's also filled with eggs. I don't know if I can pick her up and show you. Yep, there you go. There's the eggs in her belly. I won't mess with her too much. I don't want to stress her out too much. But they're set up the exact same way as the other species of Diplodactylus. Next up, we've got the Diplodactylus granariensis rex, which I'll just set that one on top of this one. These guys are also pretty cool. I have them set up as 1.2. They've got kind of like a stripe down their back. Really cool looking. This is, I believe, one of the females. Yeah, that's one of the females, which she's actually just given me eggs in the last week. Here's the male. His striping's a little bit darker, but really cool looking geckos. The other female must be under the cold side hide, so we'll just leave her be and set these guys down on the floor for a sec so that I can show you the rest of this stuff. These are actually babies that hatched out about a week or two ago. These are actually, there's actually a baby granariensis rex, which is that little guy right there, and two baby Diplodactylus galeatus, which you can definitely see which ones those guys are. I'll see if I can zoom in a little bit. So you can get a better look at these guys. The galeatus just have a really cool pattern. It is kind of blurry, but hopefully you guys can see that. I'm trying to zoom in as much as possible. But these guys, I actually set them up with sand on the hot side, which I've just sprayed down because the one was shedding last night. And then on the cool side, I actually keep a wet paper towel, just so that they can drink off of and keep the humidity up a little bit on the one side of the cage. It seems to be working really well. These guys are eating like champs, so this might just be the perfect setup as far as like keeping them as babies. Next thing I want to show you is some levis. This one is one of our more red looking animals. This is a male. He's pretty much full grown, ready to go. Really cool looking tail on him, real fat tail. These guys are just really awesome looking. I want to see if I can zoom in a little bit on them. Yeah, it's kind of blurry. But these guys, I have this guy set up just in a, I think these are like 16 quarter or whatever they are. They're the middle size that I use. We've got, this would be his hot side. He's got a little cave on the hot side, and then I also have this tile right here on the cooled side, which with the sand being moist, they like to dig underneath it. So it's just one of those things that they love to do. They dig around a lot, just have to keep them a little bit more moist. That was an adult male, and then this guy was actually born a couple weeks ago. As you can see, it almost looks like there's nothing even in here. Because they like to dig around. He's not even underneath the hide. He's actually, he made a little tiny hole right here. I'll see if I can get him out. Oh, there he is. They like to bury themselves in the moist sand, which I think it also helps them with shedding and stuff like that to keep it more humid. But this guy's, like I said, about he's a week or two old at this point. But this guy's a really cool little baby that I am very happy to be working with. And the main reason why we're working with this group actually right now is this guy right here, which you guys are going to be kind of impressed with this one, I think. He's actually underneath the sand that is underneath the tile here. Let's see if we can get him out without scaring him too much. Oh, there he comes. This guy is an adult male albino levis. Really cool looking. My friend Scott was the first one to produce these guys. Thanks, Scott, for letting me breed a couple of these guys for you. Really awesome looking. Really deep red with a yellowish tint to their back. Really cool looking eyes. Some of them actually have more red pigmentation in the eyes that almost kind of looks like a raptor, if you will. But these guys are really awesome. This guy's actually fathered a couple babies this year already, but he's been taken away from the females just to get fattened back up and into his own little cage. But that's the albino levis that are just awesome looking. And these guys are not really available for sale yet. We're still working with them a little bit more. But the cool part about these guys is, unlike the albino pilbers that weren't good eaters and stuff like that, these guys are excellent eaters. So these guys are much hardier and much cooler looking, I think. But that's all of our Australian species. So I'm gonna make another couple of videos for you guys here soon, and we'll talk to you guys later.